And good morning. Welcome back to Eyewitness News. Our legal counsel, Charlie O'Hara, here this morning in the studio. Give him a call, 436-1212, if you've got a question. Good morning, Charlie.
Good morning.
A little chilly out there, huh?
It is, but it's kind of a nice relief.
It is. Okay, we're going to go ahead and get to the phones. We do have some callers on the line who'd like to talk to Charlie. So go ahead, caller. What's your question for him?
Yeah, I want to know what you had to do to get a felony off your record.
Well, what he's really calling about, I think people have called about this before, is what we call to have your crime expunged, which means taken off. Expunged means it's kind of a legal fiction to mean it doesn't exist anymore. And you can go to court and petition the court and have the court rule that that should be taken off your record. Now, it's not taken off your record for everything, because if you get in trouble again, it counts. And for certain licenses you have, like a doctor or a lawyer or a license like that, it still counts. But for a lot of reasons, it doesn't count. So you can actually go to an employer and say you've never been convicted before, and that's called an expungement. What you have to do is you have to go to court and ask the judge to approve that. Usually the district attorney or the county attorney is involved, and you might have your own attorney there, and you have a hearing, and it can be taken off your record.
And in that kind of a situation, obviously a case-by-case basis.
Yes, it is. And what it is really for people to get a new start. Somebody that's made a mistake maybe 20 or 30 years ago, maybe even a minor felony or something like that, that still haunts them, they can take it off their record so they can go on with their life.
Okay. Thank you, Charlie. We're going to head back to the phones. Another caller on the line. Go ahead, caller. What's your question for Charlie today?
Good morning, Charlie. Good morning, Kara. Charlie, in February, I plan on going to Sydney, Australia from the States. I've called several ticket agents and a personal attorney, and they said I don't need a visa to enter Australia from the States. I have my legal passport. I was wanting to get your opinion on if I do need a visa to enter Australia from the States.
Well, I can't give you an opinion for sure. If you're just going to enter and you're going over there for a temporary matter, for a vacation or something like that, or temporarily, I think whenever you go in a foreign country, they usually ask you why you're going over there. If you're going to go over there and stay for an extended time, I think I would check with the authorities, especially the authorities here, and I think they can tell you what you're going to need. If you're going to stay there for 6 months or something, you might need something much different than if you're going to go over there for a week or so on a vacation. So I would check with the authorities. It's a long trip to go over there and have somebody tell you can't get in. So I think I'd check with the authorities before I did that.
Well, like you said, a lot of times if you're going over there for a vacation, a passport typically will just work.
That's right. But if you're going over there for some other thing, whatever that be, you may want to check with the authorities to see what they're going to require for you to get in there. Okay.
Thank you, Charlie. We're going to head back to the phones. Another caller on the line. Go ahead, caller. What's your question for Charlie today?
Yes, I recently went through a situation with the authorities here, and I was wondering, would it be best to go out of state to find an attorney to handle a misprosecution case, or is there anybody in Wichita that could handle that?
Well, what happens in the attorney business is each attorney's licensed in their state, and so you have to take an exam, what we call the bar exam, in that state. So attorneys aren't licensed all over the place. They're only licensed usually in one state. Some of them can get what we call reciprocal abilities to be in another state, for instance, Oklahoma or Missouri, especially if you're up in the Kansas City area. But usually each attorney's confined to that state. So in any case, I would always recommend that you go to an attorney from that state. If you're worried about having somebody from Wichita, which is really a pretty big community for Kansas, you should be able to find an attorney here. But if you want somebody else, you can go outside the Wichita area. You can go to Topeka, Kansas City, you can go to western Kansas and get an attorney from there if you're worried that they're going to be influenced by local authorities. But I think you're always better to have an attorney from the state.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate it, Charlie. Good to see you again.
Okay.
Stay warm.
I will.